Joining me now is Jamie Harrison, the Democratic challenger for Lindsey Graham's South Carolina Senate seat. Mr. Harrison is the former chairman of the South Carolina Democratic Party. Jamie, good to see you again. I think it must be 5 or 6 weeks ago you and I were talking, and it was still a pretty uphill battle for you. It still is, but boy, you've raised a lot of money. Your opponent is actually calling for an investigation into where all this money is coming from. So save him the trouble, Jamie. Tell us, where's all the money coming from?
It's coming for the people, Allie. It's good seeing you. Listen, it's the grandmas, the grandpas, the aunts, the uncles who are just tired of Lindsey Graham playing Washington political games. And they're ready for somebody to bring hope back to communities in South Carolina and across the country. You know, Lindsey Graham is a rubber stamp. You see the urgency that he had this week to get a Supreme Court justice in, but he hasn't had that same type of urgency to pass another COVID relief bill. In South Carolina, 750,000 people have lost their jobs, 400,000 have lost their health care, 3,500 have lost their lives. And I wish that our senator would take that more seriously than he does playing the Washington political games. But that's the reason why he's in trouble right now here, Allie. And that's the reason why he's asking Mike Pence to come down here in the seventh hour to campaign for him a week before the election. It's the reason why Mitch McConnell is pouring $20 million in the last 2 weeks into South Carolina. He's in trouble, and we have momentum here in South Carolina. That's why folks should join us at jamieharrison.com.
Jamie, 2 days ago you tweeted, South Carolina is the Senate battleground that no one saw coming. It's not often that you find you're part of history in the making, but that's exactly the case for all of you who've believed since the beginning. Let's finish the job. Talk to me about the history you feel that you're making in this race.
Well, let's understand what the history of the seat and the history of the state that we're running in. Allie, this was the seat of John C. Calhoun. It was the seat of Strom Thurmond. This was the seat of a man called Ben Pitchfork Tillman, who was the governor of South Carolina, but also a United States senator. And when he was in the Senate, he would go to the floor of the U.S. Senate and talk joyfully about the lynching of black folks. You know, in South Carolina, we were the gateway of enslaved people coming into this country. Almost 40% of Africans came to this country enslaved through the port of Charleston. South Carolina was the very first state to secede from the Union because of the issue of slavery. On November 3rd, we can make history here in South Carolina. We can usher in what I call the New South, because South Carolina, when I win, will become the very first state in this great union of ours that will have 2 African-American senators serving at the same time. We can make that history done
of course, Senator
on
Tim
November
Scott.
3rd. Exactly right.
That'll be something. Let me ask you about what has to happen now. It's not just a matter of the polling, as we've seen across the country. We know that, generally speaking, only 55% of Americans vote in presidential elections. We're hoping that all of this turnout means that more than that number will vote this time around. But for you, it's going to be as much turnout as it is what the polls are showing.
Yeah, the turnout is really important, but the energy and the momentum. You know, Lindsey Graham just had a few rallies the other day, and you could fit all of the people at his rallies probably in the phone booth. I just had a rally yesterday, and we filled a high school parking lot with cars, and so many folks energized because this is a new movement to close the book on the Old South and write a brand new book called The New South. And so I'm very, very excited about the prospects of actually having somebody in D.C. who's going to roll up their sleeves and work on behalf of the people of South Carolina.
Jamie Harrison, good to see you. Thanks always for taking time to talk to us. Jamie Harrison is the Democratic candidate for South Carolina Senate running against Lindsey Graham. Thank you, sir.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.